This is Paul for Redneck Sports. I believe that everybody should win in life, or at least attempt to. The first three maxims of General Robert Neyland's game maxims, I believe apply to everybody. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. If at first the game or the breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam. Welcome to the channel. Now let's discuss some sports. Like, subscribe, comment, show what your opinion is. Let me know if you like what you've seen. And I thank you for your support. So, the WNBA is now getting what I call the Wilt Chamberlain effect. Caitlin Clark is causing people to want to come to games. This is what happened when Wilt Chamberlain came to the NBA. That's a good thing. I am very happy that this is happening. The WNBA needed this because this is showing that they are progressing. You have to look at the NBA to see how the WNBA will grow. Now, that's all good. Now, the NBA and the WNBA need to look at this and be happy because this is making money. The NBA has been giving money to them, and this may mean that they get less money from the NBA because they're going to start showing some revenue gained. That being said, there's another progression that they're going to have to look into doing that is going to go beyond what this is. This Caitlin Clark effect, which is mirroring the Wilt Chamberlain effect, needs to be capitalized on. And I'm going to tell you how this needs to happen. Now, before you ask, the Wilt Chamberlain effect is this. When he came into the league, he was one of the most exciting players of his generation. Yes, Bill Russell was in the NBA, but he was just a good, solid, hard worker. And yes, he brought people's attention, but Wilt Chamberlain was this exciting figure. And people wanted to see him. He was bringing gate totals in that nobody had seen before in the NBA. People were paying good money to get a chance to see Wilt Chamberlain. That's the Wilt Chamberlain effect. It brought more eyes onto the NBA. That meant that more teams were able to capitalize. They wanted Wilt Chamberlain to come to their stadium because that meant that people were buying tickets. Now, hilariously, it meant there were actually less, or not less, but the ticket sales didn't actually equal it out to whoever Wilt Chamberlain played for after the first few seasons, but people still went to see him play. Few people remember that about him. He was an exciting player. 100 points. He was dominant on defense. Not as good as Bill Russell because, well, Bill Russell won way more. But this effect helped all the NBA. Caitlin Clark is helping all the WNBA get more eyes on them. This is a good thing. I'm not downing on any of this. This is a good thing. And it shows that they're able to progress correctly if they capitalize on it. And that's what they need. Now, the next step in the evolution of the WNBA is to have some rivalries. The penultimate rivalry for decades, and I do mean decades, was the Celtics-Lakers. both those teams were amazing teams. You had Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain when he came on for the Lakers. You had John Havlicek, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell. All of these players turned those two teams into a rivalry. You wanted to be there. You wanted to see who was going to win those games. And the Chamberlain-Russell rivalry was something to behold. Off the court, yeah. Chamberlain came over to Russell's house. The two of them were a pretty good pair off the court. But on the court, those two battled. And that's what we need now. We need the WNBA to find some rivalries. They need to hype up some rivalries. You don't need kumbaya moments. Quit talking about money. Quit talking about, oh, well, we need to work. No. Now, you need to work on who is going to win the games. Who is going to be the ones that everybody's going to be rooting for? That was the Celtics Lakers. That was Chamberlain Russell, no matter who Chamberlain played for. Jordan Bulls versus the Bad Boy Pistons. Oh, now that was a rivalry. Magic Bird. Now there was another rivalry. That was an amazing rivalry. Everything was just hitting right for television. Everything was just hitting right for marketing. You had Bird, Magic in the NCAA championship. You had somebody who could talk smack and back it up in Bird, and you had a media style personality who was electric on the court in Magic Johnson. Now, that's what we need. You actually have somebody in the WNBA right now that could help do that. This is Sabrina Ionescu. She won the three-point shooting title in the WNBA last year. She went up against Steph Curry at the All-Star game for the NBA. She's able to do things that are able to help the WNBA. Okay, fine. She got attention via an NBA player. Okay, fine. Now, you've got Caitlin Clark. Once she gets her feet under her, she's going to be able to, more than likely, I'm not saying that it's a 100% chance or 100% going to happen, but Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu could start a major competition for three-pointers, scoring, whatnot. These are young faces in the WNBA that could make an impact. Angel Reese. She literally has one of the best mentors of all time. She can start figuring a way to become rivals with somebody. Don't do kumbaya. Do competition. You want to bring in the old folks like me who love it, who are going to pass it on to that next generation, who are going to talk about it, because we do talk about it. We don't talk about it on social media necessarily, but people will listen to us. We're old folks. Some folks actually listen to us old folks. You need to get to the point that you are wanting to have rivalries. You're wanting to have competition. Quit worrying about the money. The money will come. Everybody wants to get paid immediately. Well, guess what? Caitlin Clark's already bringing in the views, so that's a good thing. Now, there needs to be some reason to stick around, and that it means rivalries. Sabrina Ionescu, a perfect rival for Caitlin Clark. The two of them can have their moments where they're nicey nice, but no. When they're on the court together, they need to be putting on a master class in how to shoot that ball. People need to be going at each other like they want to win. I watched some games last year. It'd been a while since I'd watched some games, and I got to hearing about the WNBA again, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll give them a watch. I watched multiple games. I didn't watch just one game. I watched multiple games. I watched it on Ion. Really, 5 minutes without scoring from either side in games. I was getting bored with some of it. Now, I got to see Caitlin Clark during some of her last season. As a University of Tennessee fan, that was amazing. Sabrina Ionescu, amazing when she got the ball in her hands. She is electric. Candace Parker was electric when she got in there. She won an NCAA championship under Pat Head Summit. She won the gold medal. And then she won a championship all in 1 year. That's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. We need some excitement. So WNBA, if you're listening, whether you are or not, start pushing some WNBA rivalries. Don't be put Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry. Okay, fine, that's cool and all. But Sabrina Ionescu 3-point shooting versus Caitlin Clark 3-point shooting. This year it's more than likely going to be Ionescu because she doesn't have everybody going after her like Caitlin Clark does. Caitlin Clark is getting her footing because it's a new way of playing, but she's still showing that she's got something there. She's still scoring, she's still doing these things. Okay. Get that rivalry going. Get rivalries going that people are going to go, holy cow, did you see this last night? Hey, insert teams were playing last night, and it was a master class in both defense and offense. These are the things that will get people coming and then getting people to stay. Quit talking about the money. The money will come. Quit doing kumbaya moments. Who cares? That's not what's going to get people in those seats and staying in those seats for the next game. Get in there and show that you want people to pay attention to you. That is what's going to get people to want to pay the money to watch the games. I want to see the WNBA succeed. I really do. I want to be able to go, hey, while I didn't watch it in the early days, the very early days, Candace Parker drew me to it when she switched over. Yes, I'm from Tennessee. Candace Parker was one of the most amazing University of Tennessee players. I mean, loved watching her play. She switched over, and to be perfectly honest, when they said, oh, she's going in the draft, I'm like, there's a female version of the NBA. Well, there was, and she spent a long time in the WNBA, and I got to see her play several times, and I was happy. But the product is not, it's not horrible, it's just a little bit boring. And I'm not saying that because I want it to fail. I'm not saying that to get shock value or anything like that. I'm going, guys, you have a you have a way to do this. The NBA showed you the way. You have connections to the NBA. Get in there and show everybody that you're willing to learn the lessons of history. And honestly, don't think that you have to keep yourself hidden away because you're too busy wanting to get paid. You get paid when you do the work. And for NBA stars, they do that work not just from being out there on the court. Look at what Michael Jordan brought to the NBA. His shoe deal, while there had been others before him that had had shoe deals, his shoe deal was marketing in and of itself. It was marketing for the NBA. The Bird Magic rivalry was marketing because their competitions to see who was better was marketing. Birds trash talking was marketing. Yeah, you had the players that people have forgotten the names of over the years, but those that have a spotlight on them need to use it for more than going, oh, we need to be paid more. Sabrina Ionescu, she gets the spotlight on her. She challenges Steph Curry to a 3-point contest. That's a great thing for a short term. Now, Ionescu and Caitlin Clark getting to the point that they are a competition for each other. That is an amazing thing. That is something that will cause people to want to watch the games. They'll want to see how that unfolds. You need players that are rivals. You need teams that are rivals. This can be doable. Work on it. If you're a player in the WNBA, go, hey, how can I get notice? How can I get that spotlight on me so I can turn it to the advantage of everybody? Don't think you can't do it, because you can. I'm glad. I thank you for listening to me. If you saw everything, um, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now.